Hello everybody, welcome to Theory Thursday, and today we're going to continue our discussion of triads and move into seventh chords. Up until this point we talked about how to build chords based off of a scale, a major and a minor scale. What do those chords sound like, and what quality is that chord? Is it major sounding? Is it minor sounding? Is it diminished sounding? So we're going to pause for just a moment, and we're going to take a break from that concept and just talk about the structure of the chord and how you can build chords that aren't necessarily using a scale degree. They will belong to some type of scale, but we're going to look at a little bit more in depth of how the chord is built. So let's start with C major triad. Now I'm going to write it big on the board, so I'm not going to draw the whole treble clef and everything. So we're going to do a C. We'll say this is the middle C, D, and then E, and G. Alright, so when we look at this chord, we notice that each note it's stacked in thirds. So C, D, E is the next note, E, F, G is the next note. So they're just thirds stacked on top of each other. And you can build as high as you can go with how many fingers you have. You can keep building up in thirds. But let's take a look at the relationship a little bit closer. So if we look here from C to E, and we said it's some kind of third, so we'll say it's a third. Now what kind of third is it? Well, we know that CEG is a major chord, but if we just simply count the half steps from C to E, so we have C sharp, D, E flat, and we have E. So how many half steps is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is a major third because it has 4 half steps, or 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we lowered it, we'd have a minor third. So the C to E is a major third. Alright, now let's look at the next third. The E to G. E to G. And let's count the half steps. 1, 2, 3. F sharp, G. Play it down here. It's a minor third. This would be the major third. So it's only 3 half steps. So this is a minor third. And we'll write a lowercase m with a line above it. So how you build a major triad, triad being 3, or a 3-note chord, is you use a major third on top of a minor third. So let's take, for example, let's build a random chord. Well, let's say A. So we have A, and we know that it's going to be in thirds, so we can say A, B, C is going to be in our next one, C, D, E is going to be in our next one. For the letter names. So it's going to be A, C, E, but it's a matter of what accidentals or not are in there. So if we start on A, and then we just count up our half steps, we want to build a major third, so A sharp, B, C, C sharp, so that's a major third. And then we need an E, some kind of E, so then we count the minor third, which is 3 half steps. E. So a major triad built on A is A, C sharp, E. And you can do that with any letter name using this formula. if you don't want to think about scales. Alright, now let's look at a minor triad. So we'll say we got A, C, E. Stack our thirds, and now let's think about the relationship. If we go A to C, we count the half steps. It's 1, 2, 3, 3 notes. 1, 2, 3, 3 notes away. So A to C is a minor third. So we'll write an M with a minor. Now that makes sense because we're building a minor triad or a minor chord. So it makes sense that the first relationship is going to be a minor. And then we go to C to E. Sounds major. Let's count it. So C sharp, D, D sharp, E. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a major third. So we have a minor third stacked onto a major third. So a major chord is a major third with a minor third on top. That's for major. And a minor chord or a minor triad is a minor third with a major third. And that's the relationship of the inner workings of triads. Now, let's just talk about one concept briefly. We'll talk about it in more depth and relating to a scale in the next video. But I'm going to draw this really big. I'm going to draw two chords. We're still going to use C major and A minor because there's no accidental, so it's just easier to explain. And this is going to be C major is our first one. So we'll just say C, M, A, J. It's typically how you see it. C, M, A, J. And then this one will be our minor, A minor. So we'll write A, and often you'll see a line next to the A horizontally, and that means minor. If you're a guitar player, you'll see that on your lead sheet or other piece of music. They're usually chord diagrams and stuff. So you got A minor, A, C, E, C major, C, E, and G. All right, now let's add our fourth note for both of these and make it a seventh, what we call a seventh chord. Why do we call it a seventh chord? Well, our root we say is 1, like if you're thinking about a scale. In C major, C is 1. This is our third because that determines the relationship. That relationship determines if it's a major chord or a minor chord. And then we have our fifth. Why is it called a fifth? Well, if you C, E, G, C, D, E, F, G, it's a fifth. C to G is a fifth. So we call that a fifth. And then if we go up to our seventh note, which would be here, seventh. 1, 3, 5, 7. And it keeps going 9, 11, 13, so on and so forth. And so we add a seventh, which is just another third. So we have G, and we go G, A, B. So this is going to be some kind of B. And then for the A, C, E, E, F, G, this will be some kind of G. And that's our seventh. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. That's where we get that from, if you count with up the scale. So let's take a look at what these will sound like. Now there's no accidentals or anything because we're talking about diatonic, and the word diatonic means within the key or using the notes of that scale. So if we play it, C, E, G, B. It's a 4-note chord instead of a triad. And we look at the relationship between that G and the B, some kind of third. We count G sharp, A, B flat, B. 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember we said there's a major third, there's a minor third. This is going to be a major third on top of that minor third to get your 7th for C major, for major. Now A, minor, A, C, E, and then we add that 7th G. And then we look at the relationship between the E and the G, and we count the half steps. F, F sharp, G, 1, 2, 3. It's a minor third as opposed to major third. So we have a minor third, a major third, and then a minor third for the 7th. And that's how you build 7th chords. That's the formula, no matter what your root note is, which is your 1. If you notice, the major chord has 2 major thirds, minor chord has 2 minor thirds. Now, I'm going to leave you something that I find is a bit interesting. If you take C major, add the 7th, take C off and just play E, G, B. Wait a second. So that's a minor chord. E to G is 3 half steps. G to B is 4 half steps. So C major has an E minor chord in it with C in the bass, or the root. Now let's take A minor, A, C, E, G, and we'll take off the A and just play the C, E, and G. Whoa, that's a major chord. It's actually C major. Major third, minor third, with an A in the bass, or A is the root note. So the minor 7th chord is actually a major chord with A as the lowest. And you can also think of it like a minor chord with a major chord, and then major chord with a minor chord. And that's how the 7th chords are built, which makes really beautiful harmonies, very interesting ways that the notes move. And that's why 7th chords are used often. But that's just something to think about. And in the next video, we'll talk about building 7th chords in major and minor keys. I hope this was informational. I hope to help you guys out there. If you have any questions, you can feel free to leave a comment below or get in touch with me directly. And I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.